So what brought you guys to Amazing Race? Why did you want to apply?
Well, about 5 years ago when COVID was going on, of course, we couldn't travel. And I think everybody picked up on new TV shows. And one of mine was The Amazing Race. I fell in love with the game. I really could see myself and Pops doing it. I never for a second thought of any other partner. It was always going to be me and Pops, right? So I started watching it. I watched so many seasons, and then I told Pops a couple of years ago, like, hey, we're going on The Amazing Race. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, right." But
Yeah, but he was down to do
oh yeah,
whatever I said we needed to
oh
do to
yeah,
get on it. He went all in on it with me. You know, you take a lot of risks when you apply for something, and the closer that you get to being casted, you have to you got to clear your schedule completely out
yeah, yeah.
for a whole month to do the race. You have to do all of these different things to prepare yourself for it. And so we went all in on it, and it paid off. It worked out.
Hmm.
You guys were so fun to watch. I was
Thank you.
shocked though to find out that Pops was like running the team here with the roadblocks. What was your roadblock strategy here?
Our roadblock strategy was anything that was going to be strictly physical and not have like a puzzle or a riddle or remember things, we were going to have Pops do it so that I wouldn't use my roadblock because you can only do up to 6 roadblocks.
Right.
So I didn't want to use my roadblock availability doing something strictly physical because if a puzzle or remembering did come up, that's kind of my thing, you know. So we started realizing though that most of the earlier challenges were the physical, just strictly physical things. He jumped out of an airplane. What else did you do?
Climb
You
the
climbed the thing. You did the
Yes.
soccer. Like
yeah.
that fit our strategy to have him do that. But then when we realized we were at 4-2, we didn't want to get too lopsided because if he would have done that surfing, that would have been 5-2, and he'd only
We
have
had one
one
more.
more
Yeah.
roadblock he could do. So yeah.
Yeah, Pops, you got to skydive. You were so excited. How was that?
I was so excited. It was like a dream come true. I always wanted to do something like that. And then to actually be in the air, and the whole time I was in the air, I'm looking for Jeff. I'm like, where's he at? I can't see him, of course, I'm way up in the air. But I want this, I was really wanting to see him see me because I always felt like I'm Superman. And then I felt like I was literally flying. And man, I can't even tell you in words. It was
Do you guys
wow.
have plans to bungee jump now?
That's on my
He might.
that's he said he might. Yeah, that's on my that's what I want to do next. I would love to bungee jump. I
Yeah,
would
we
love
need
to
to
walk a
make it
wire or
happen.
something.
Oh
Yeah,
my God. Put it on the
yeah.
schedule. Make it happen.
All right.
This episode, my gosh, when you guys get to that one moment where you just double check for the train, which like you have to do, right? What if
You
you had
got to
gotten
do it.
on the
Yeah,
You
yeah.
wrong
go the
train?
wrong way fast, and you don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah. In the moment, everything kind of moves at this weird pace in your mind, right? So you don't get a chance to really see how things went. Watching it, we feel a lot better because we know we were moving towards the door of the train the whole. We didn't stop and
Mm-mm.
look to see if that was a correct train. We were still
Yeah.
moving.
We were
So yeah, you hear us
moving the
questioning
right
it,
direction. Yeah.
but we were still walking towards getting on the train, and the doors began to close. I put my arm into the door, and the only thing that I kind of regret is not putting both hands in there and just snatching that thing
Yeah.
open. You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
but one thing that we did realize is that we no matter what, we could not have gotten on that train. We're not just traveling by ourselves. You got us two, then you got the camera crew with us as well.
Yeah.
And as he's getting that shot, you got to see he's not. We wouldn't have been able to all four get on that train no matter what, is what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
that
you
it
almost
was,
lost an arm,
I almost lost
honestly.
an arm, yeah, but it was, it would have been $1 million arm. Yeah. So I wish I guess the only thing that you really can go back and look at is those few seconds that we could have shaved off of being here, and those, you
Right,
know what I
right,
mean,
right.
and that adds up to plenty time to be on the train before that one. So it's just when you're in the race, every second counts everywhere. It's not
Right.
You're never in a time where the seconds don't count at
Yeah, so
all.
when you're surfing, I mean, you don't even love being in the water. This is a new thing for you, but you get it pretty quick. It seems
Yeah,
like.
I
Do
did.
you feel that pressure though?
I felt the pressure, but I realized that other people were struggling too. And the more pressure that I feel in a situation, I think the better I might perform. So it wasn't like that type of pressure that made me go in panic mode and made me keep falling. I think it was like, okay, it's just me and Nick and Mike. I don't have time to like play around or to like, let me go do this. I had to tell the instructor plenty of because they don't just let you just try it. Like they want to feel like you got it. So I
Mm.
told him like, man, I could do this. So I went over there once, I failed. That's when he was like, he's up, he's up. I almost made it across, and he's like, he's down, right? And then so I went back and he wanted to practice more, but I was like, man, I think I got it. You know what I mean? So I went back over there. I got on the surfboard and made it all the way across. So, so it was, I felt really good about how that challenge ended up happening because as we got there, even though like Jonathan and Anna and a lot of other teams had left way before us from the bakery place, we caught up to them because they fell a bunch of times in that water.
I have to imagine watching the show. It feels different once you're actually doing the race. Was there anything
Oh
that
yeah.
surprised you when you were racing?
I would say the one thing that was a surprise, and it's funny because it's things that they say, and you just think that they're just saying it. And it's certain things that you see and you don't think that it's really that real or
Mm.
genuine. When people say how close they are to their castmates, right? You're like, okay, of course you're gonna say that it's just the right thing to say. But we are really like a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I did never thought that our group chat is going every day. It's not a day that goes by that the group chat is not popping. And we did Secret Santa last year, like little things like that. And besides that, that dramatic finish to the last episode,
Mm.
right? Like you see that stuff on TV. I'm a super fan, right? So you see that type of stuff on TV, and it was so amazing to watch it from a fan perspective. I hate the door was closing on me,
Right.
but that was the best shot I've ever seen on any show. You know what I mean? Like it's like the door is literally closed, the arm is in there and everything. So it's like, and it happened organically. It just happened. It is not controlled. It's like that really happened. And then the foot race, you can't run in that train station. So now you got these big guys speed walking through a train station, and then the things that was going through my mind of like what I can do to still win this foot race, even though Pop's ankle, his ankle was bad. So we knew we weren't gonna be able to really sprint. So strategizing has always been my secret weapon. Like I can think my way out of a lot of things. So it's a crazy feeling to have been there and it was nothing I could do.
Yeah, so talk to me about this moment. You're on the mat. Phil tells you you're being eliminated, but you also have the support of the other teams there with
Yeah,
you. What's this moment
yeah.
like?
That moment was just a culmination of like everything that had happened that leg. I mean, the whole race too, but that leg, you'll see how it starts with us in the airport and we were sitting. It was just calm and peaceful. I know you saw Anna and Carson and Jack having a conversation about who voted who, but after that, it was just us bonding. Then we slept all together in that tent in the desert. It's not normal for all the teams to sleep together anywhere. We bonded. Jonathan and I talked for maybe 2 or 3 hours that night. Everybody else was still asleep. Him and I were sitting up talking about our families, our daughters, and how we want them to know each other and all of that type of stuff. We were able to humanize ourselves to each other. Um, it it really, I think we both had the feeling that we wished that we had connected early in the race. I honestly, I honestly feel like I could have that connection could have even helped his situation. You know what I mean? Like I
Mm.
think that would have been a great connection for us to have earlier in the race. But for us to get out right after that, I think that's what crushed Jonathan and Anna. You see them crying.
Mm.
You see Erica and Melinda. You see Erica and Melinda crying because they were our number one allies, right? That was genuine. Like Erica is one of my best friends now. We bonded over Big Brother. We're Big Brother super nerds. We love it. So we were like, we still text when Big Brother season starts again, we're gonna be
Yeah.
texting every day watching it. So and and then you had Nick and Mike. We had just had that foot race with them, but they were sad.
Man,
we're hugging and we're talking about how we're brothers for life, and that stuff still stands. Like we are one big family, and you might see within our family some little stuff going back and forth and everything, but it's still family business. Like, and everybody loves each other.
It was kind of funny because once we got to the field, the pit stop, it kind of changed things. I guess we really wanted to say because we look around, everybody's crying. We was trying to tell them it's okay instead of talking about,
Yeah, we weren't crying. It
right,
was
right.
like,
It's okay,
yeah.
and it was a lot of love though, it
We
was
just had the greatest day of our lives. He jumped out of a plane.
yeah,
I surfed.
yeah,
We was
yeah,
at the
yeah.
Atlantis. We love the Atlantis. So it was impossible to like be sad at the end of the day. It
Right.
just was.
Just being there in Dubai, you could,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean, yeah,
Pops, what does it mean to have had this experience with your son?
it was a dream come true. It was like it made me feel like I was blessed. I raised him right. God blessed us to do these things right now today still. And I can't even say in words how much fun and how happy I was and how proud I was with him, doing these things. And he actually chose me. He could have chose anybody to do that. He knows guys that are in great shape, do this, do that. He chose Pops. So
Nobody I know is in the shape that
he chose me, so it made me feel very, very special.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeff, like how's it been watching this back together? Are you guys watching as a family?
It's been great because we shot it. It's literally been almost a year now.
Yeah.
And we are able to see different perspectives. We get to watch the other teams and what was going on when we weren't around, and these are friends. So it's great to watch. And our family, we couldn't tell them anything about where we placed and how these challenges went. So, they get to be proud of us when they see us accomplish these different things, which are completely out of our wheelhouse, completely different things that we have not done ever in our lives. So watching it is like we got this permanent home video that we can always go back and see. I'm always going to be tuning in, logging into Paramount Plus
right,
for certain episodes
yeah.
and reanalyzing this and what we could have did there and studying for the next time.
You guys were so fun to watch. I drafted you for my fantasy league. Thank you for the points. I loved it.
Wow.
So we
And
got you some good points.
yes, you did. Thank you so
I
much.
I was worried we let you down.
Right.
No, no, no. I mean, I wish
Right.
wish you were still in the race.
Yeah,
I know.
Very
Well,
sad.
thanks for drafting us. Thanks for drafting us.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have a good one.